was an old fisherman of Galilee Lake. I'd fish for my keep, not for fishing's sake. I'd sell my fish for a living to make. Take, give what I could, and I'd get what I take. I looked and I saw a man by the shore. He spoke to me and asked me if I wanted more riches than I'd ever dreamed of before. Weary and empty, I listened for more. He told me of life, of what it could be. He told me a man was born to be free. He was given his eyes so his eyes could see. He said, lay down your nets, follow me. So I laid down my nets and I walked from the shore, like a weathered soldier who'd walked from a war. He turned and I followed, not questioning why. I knew he was right by the truth in his eye. We went to the cities where great kings did dwell. He said that their riches would damn them to hell. He asked them to follow, but they wouldn't sell. I stood and I watched as their kingdoms fell. He gave to the poor the riches to be. He gave sight to the blind so the blind men could see. He broke the chains and set the prisoners all free. He said, there's more you can have. Follow me. So I laid down my nets and I walked from the shore, like a weathered soldier who'd walked from a war. He turned and I followed, not questioning why. I knew he was right by the truth in his eye. So I laid down my nets and I walked from the shore, like a weathered soldier who'd walked from a war. He turned and I followed, not questioning why. I knew he was right by the truth in his eye. Yeah. Love that stuff. That's a song from the Jesus Movement. And a song which not many people have heard because I don't think it was ever recorded. I don't think it was ever done publicly, except maybe for me in a few concerts. Because I picked it up from a guy who, as far as I know, he was a one-hit wonder. He wrote that one song. And it blew me away. And I loved that song. And I love it because it really does. I love to sing it now. It captures that. There was a spirit about that movement, which is going to apply to our teaching a lot tonight. And that is, when Jesus comes into your life, he makes changes. And sometimes we don't like those changes. Sometimes those changes are difficult. That's when you have to decide, are you going to follow him or not? And that's why Jesus went. And he called people to follow him no matter what. I love those. So there's another song came from that same era, written by a guy named Bob Marlowe. I don't even remember the title to this song, but it was a song about talking about Jesus making changes. It was when Jesus went into the temple and turned over the tables and drove everybody out. And I'll never forget the last line of that song. It's been with me for 40 years or however long it's been. Jesus, he came on through here today and asked everyone to leave. He always, Bob would sing like, he'd sing like Dylan. Jesus, he came on through here today and asked everyone to leave. I used to love that. Jesus makes changes, and they're not always ones that we all like, because he wants to get rid of the things in our life which ensnare us. He wants to get rid of those bad habits. He wants to get rid of the things which we want to hold on to. That aren't good for us. So here we go. Let's go into the scriptures. Welcome to church. It's Church at the Catch. We're in the middle of a pandemic. We're in the middle of an incredible time for the world right now. And so it's a time where everything's run indoors, and that's why we love this. We were here even before this happened, having church online. So welcome. Tell your friends. Actually, you can just send them this link right this minute. Send them an email, send them a text. Say, hey, get over here. It'll only be 40 minutes, 30 minutes now. 30 minutes of church. People who don't like church, people who never go to church. Come on, they'll like this. Send them a text right now. Tell them, get over here. Come on. What are you doing? Sitting there by yourself, sucking your thumb. Let's go. It's time for church. All right. Luke 8, 26 through 39. Here we go. They sailed to the region of the Gerasenes, which is across the lake from Galilee. By the way, it's very interesting. This takes place right after the calming of the sea. It says they sailed to the region of the Gerasenes, which is across the lake from Galilee. Well, they left Galilee the night before and sailed across the lake, and that's when they hit the storm, and that's when Jesus was asleep, and they were about ready to capsize, and they were screaming, and they were all afraid, and they woke Jesus up and said, look, we're going to die. And Jesus stands up and tells the waves to stop and the wind to stop and the storm to stop, and sits down in the calmness and says, where's your faith? Oh, you of little faith. Woo, he got on him right away. And this is still in the early part of his ministry. It was not going to be easy to follow this guy. They sailed to the region of the Gerasenes, which is across the lake from Galilee. And when Jesus stepped ashore, this is the next morning, he was met by a demon-possessed man from the town. For a long time, this man had not worn clothes or lived in a house, but had lived in the tombs. When he saw Jesus, he cried out and fell at his feet, shouting at the top of his voice, what do you want with me, Jesus, Son of the Most High God? I beg you, don't torture me. What a scene. By the way, there are very few passages in all of the Gospels that identify very clearly Jesus as the Son of God. Very few. Jesus hardly ever says it himself. He asks other people to say, and here is a demon-possessed man who knows exactly who Jesus is and begging him, don't torture me. The demons are subject to God. They have to have permission for what they do. This is not an evil warfare against God and Satan. This is not a positive against a negative pole. No, Satan, this is God and this is Satan way down here somewhere. Satan is just an angel. He's bigger than us because we aren't angels. But Satan is just an angel, and his demons are other angels. They're powerful, but they're nowhere close to the God and Creator of the universe, in charge of everything, including what's going on right now in our world. So, this guy, this demon knows exactly who Jesus is, and his disciples are probably freaking out. If they had any doubt who this man was, they probably got it by now. What do you want with me, Jesus, by name, Son of the Most High God? There was no introduction. They were not introduced to him. They didn't say, oh, demons, meet Jesus. That's his name. No, the demons knew exactly who he was. I beg you, don't torture me. For Jesus had commanded the impure spirit to come out of the man. Okay, he'd already asked the spirit to come out many times. It had seized him, and though he was chained hand and foot and kept under guard, he had broken his chains and had been driven by the demon into solitary places. And Jesus asked him, what is your name? Legion, he replied, because many demons had gone into him. And they begged Jesus repeatedly, all these demons, the legion of demons, not to order them to go into the abyss, the bottomless pit. Not yet. They're going to go there soon, but they didn't want to go there yet. They already know that too. They know, isn't this amazing? They know they're headed for the bottomless pit. Not only that, they know who's going to send them there. They know it's going to be Jesus. So they say, no, not yet. Don't send us there now. There's a large herd of pigs who was feeding there on the hillside. The demons begged Jesus to let them go into the pigs, and he gave them permission. Okay, go in the pigs. When the demons came out of the man, they went into the pigs, and the herd rushed down the steep bank into the lake and was drowned. It's an adventure following Jesus, you guys. When those tending the pigs saw what had happened, they ran off and reported this to the town and the countryside. See, Jesus is new to this area. They took the boat across from Galilee. So Jesus had not been anywhere near this area yet. And the people went to see. They came out to see what had happened. And when they came to Jesus, they found the man from whom the demons had gone out, listen to this, sitting at Jesus' feet, dressed and in his right mind. And they were afraid. And those who had seen it told the people how the demon-possessed man had been cured. And then all the people of the region of the Gerasenes asked Jesus to leave them, because they were overcome with fear. So he got into the boat and left. Phew, what a story. Isn't that a story? Think about it. Here's a guy who's naked, homeless, lived among the tombs. He was inhabited by legions, hundreds of demons. It was impossible to contain him, no matter how much they chained him in his hands and his feet. He would break the chains because of the superhuman strength of the demons in him. And he lived in solitary places, and you can imagine if he shrieked at Jesus, he was shrieking all the time among the tombs. We have a few of those guys in our town walking around shrieking. You ever been around that? You've probably heard it. It's a mental condition. Sometimes I wonder, maybe that's a demon. Who knows? Walking around cursing and saying all sorts of things. Wow. But here's the point. Naked, homeless, living in the tombs, was inhabited. Okay, suddenly this man is dressed and in his right mind, and the people are afraid. What? Is that what my Bible says? Yes, it says they were afraid. Are you kidding me? They're more afraid of a man healed, dressed, and in his right mind than a crazy man in the tombs. Naked, shrieking, doing who knows what in there, terrorizing the whole neighborhood. No, you know what they're saying? Hey, Jesus, we like our pigs on the hill and our crazy man in the tombs. So just leave us. We like the way it is. We don't want you coming here and messing with our reality. Even if it means healing the man and putting him in his right mind. Wow. Is that powerful or what? Sorry, I'm kind of doing a little bit of shrieking myself tonight. I think I'm pumped up. Sorry. What a passage. We are facing many new things right now. We all are. Some of them are scary. They're all scary because they're new. You know what this passage says? Anything new is scary. Even if it means being healed. Remember the guy by the tomb for 39 years? Not the tomb, I'm sorry, by the pool. And the angels stirred the water and he was supposed to jump in and he would get healed. He was a cripple. And he could never get in because he was crippled. He would never be fast enough. Somebody else would beat him to it because it was the first in the pool after the angel stirred it. See, they got healed. And so Jesus comes by and says, do you want to be healed? You would have expected him to say, yes. But he didn't. He gave him an excuse. He gave him his excuse he'd been giving for 39 years. Well, I've been here by the pool, and every time the angel stirs the water, I try to get it to catch 22, Jesus. You know, I'm crippled, and I can't get in there fast enough to get healed. So it's never going to change. It's just me here, sick, 39 years. I'm just going to keep getting sick. Do you want to be healed? That's kind of scary. I change my reality. Holy moly. We are facing many new things that are going to force us to faith. And they're scary. Are you for it? Are you ready? Okay, here's the question, and we'll go on to some discussion, if you're still with me. What is Jesus changing in your life that you're afraid of? What is Jesus changing in your life that you're afraid of? There are things in my life that need to get under control, and I'm afraid of getting under control because they've never been under control. And I'm used to having them not under control because that's my excuse. What does Jesus want to change in your life that you're afraid of? Are you afraid of being healed? Are you afraid of being cured? Would you prefer the pigs on the hillside? You know, at least that's our, you know, I imagine they were pretty upset about that one because, you know, that's a livelihood for some farmer. So they were all upset about that and probably had a reason maybe to be upset about that. But that's a big change. What are the pigs on your hillside and the demons shrieking in the tombs next to you that you've just gotten comfortable with? What do we want Jesus to change? There's going to be a lot of change happening. We're facing some new things and we're excited. We've got church now. We've got Wednesday night study. And please spread the word about that. It's on Zoom. So I can see you and you can see me and we can all talk together. And we're having a great time. It's inductive Bible study where we discuss things and questions and answers. And then not only that, we've got Body Life where we share our needs. We got a little bit of that here too. In a minute, you'll be able to share your prayer requests with us. But that's on Wednesday. And that's new. And that's exciting. And we are actually coming to grips with the fact that we're a church. More and more, we are seeing that, and we're going to start believing that and acting like it. And that's why on Wednesday nights we're studying Ephesians 4, which is the foundation for the church. So that'll help you get rooted and grounded in this new thing that's going on. Okay? So join us. We're facing many new things. Some of them will be scary because it's scary to be healed.